Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to The Hunter Call of the Wild. My name is Dig, and in today's episode, we are going to be going ahead and doing the Hunt 2 Coyotes quest in Chila. So we're going to head towards this lookout point, but on the way, we will be looking for and listening for some coyotes. I'm also rocking a bit of a different loadout today. We are using the Grelic rifle as usual, but I switched over to the Ranger 243 with polymer tip bullets because I wanted to test out how much the penetration the polymer tip bullets had over something like the Whitlock 86, because I'm looking for a gun that has that 2 to 6 range, because we don't currently have anything set up for that right now. I may go ahead and look at the 243 Cuomo again to see if it has a good penetration and range as well, because it is much lighter, and as we have it right now, we do not have the ability to hunt small game such as rabbits. So that will be something we will have to look into later down the line. Eventually, we will unlock the skill that gives us 15% more carry capacity, which is about 3 more pounds than what we have right now. And that will unlock the ability for us to carry pretty much any gun that we'd like. But I'm working on another jack of all trades setup here. And what is that? Oh, the little bunny rabbits. Okay. And that's cool. Fortunately, we can't hunt them right now because we don't actually have the 22 on us. But that's okay. We also have the 10mm Davini, which is something that I'm wanting to play around with as well. The 10mm might get switched out for a different gun that can do a little bit higher range of animals. I believe the Davini can do 2 to 6, so that's not bad. I think the one I want is like 2 to 8 or something like that. Wow, we got all kinds of animals ahead of us right now. Of course, we still have the Grelic rifle, which has the 16-gauge slugs, which will allow us to engage at about 100 to 150 yards away, or meters. They're pretty much the same thing. And that's about all I want to be able to do for right now. Where'd that deer go? Where'd you go, deer? Oh, wow, there's a herd of elk up there too, and there's a male elk by us as well. Here she is. So she's about 110 yards away. If I take out the shotgun or the Grelic rifle here, and I zoom in, that's pretty good, right? That's a pretty good zoom for that animal right there. You get a good line of sight on there, and you can aim up pretty well. With anything about further than that, 150 yards is pretty much the max that you're going to want to use that scope at, because anything beyond that is going to be really, really hard to aim and get a good, shot at. I'm going to be doing a video on the shooting range, so look forward to that. It's going to be very interesting, and it gives you a very good, unique aspect of what different guns are capable of in different ranges. You'll be quite surprised, I think. All right, let's move on and get towards where we need to go. I don't know if this male elk is going to be nearby or not. That female doe looks like she's traveling alone. I don't see any males. I did play a little bit off camera. I did go ahead and open up a lot of these outposts around the map just so we had a little bit easier time traveling for videos, and just a little bit of grinding so I could unlock a few guns to test out. I do plan on live streaming The Hunter Call of the Wild, and we'll be doing a little bit of grinding on there. But of course, as you guys know, my grinding is going to look a little bit different than most people's, because I don't agree with the whole whacking and stacking thing, and I don't really like watching people sit in a tripod on one side of the lake, kill like 4 deer, and then teleport over the other one. It just kind of ruins the whole vibe of the game for me. So we'll probably end up doing a lot of stalking, or maybe sitting in a tree stand and doing bow hunting for a lot of the grinding for herd management, because I do want to get some nicer animals spawning. But I have a feeling that God is on my side for that, and he's going to give us some pretty good spawns regardless. I was very surprised, I think it was our second or third episode, that we ended up getting that diamond, because I don't think diamonds normally spawn that quickly on a map, and we hadn't really done any sort of herd management. Now, of course, I do know herd management procedure, and so maybe that helped a little bit by taking out some of the little deers rather than just taking out whatever. I don't think so. I think we just got really, really lucky. Now, oddly enough, I've actually come across several solo female blacktails and I think maybe whitetails, and I've come across their feed zones as well, and it was just one single animal. So I don't know if harvesting some females on the map might have broken some things, or if there's just some weird zones. Now, the obvious thing to fix that is if it truly is just a single female, then the best option is to just harvest her, find the zone again, and it should reset the zone and have better herds. But as far as I can tell, she's alone right now. I'm going to leave her for now because I don't really need her. But if I do find out that she is in a zone by herself, I will go ahead and reset her. Here we go. So there's those elks we were looking at earlier. So there's a 2, a 4, and a 3. Oh, wow. There is a lot of elks down there, actually. A lot of bull elk. There's quite a bit of them. I might go ahead and actually take one of these. Let me swap to the right caliber here. Let me just make sure. There we go. Sometimes it's a little weird. Gotta make sure that's on the right caliber for the Grelic rifle. Alright, so that level 4 is pretty. Got a nice rack. A lot of little ones in here, which I think I'm gonna leave because they're all pretty small and they're not gonna respawn as anything big. But that elk level 4 may just respawn at that. And he is a class 8, which is a pretty big boy. Going over all the different rifles and things on the Wikipedia, it's really interesting to see what is available and what isn't as far as weapons and the ranges that they can be used in. I unfortunately was unable to find a gun that really fit the class ranges that I wanted to. And you're really not supposed to have like a jack of all trades loadout. You're supposed to use like specific loadouts for specific hunts. But because as you're traveling, you come across so many different animal types, I like to be ready and available for everything and prepared. Let's go ahead and tell Rocky to lay down a little bit because he may end up spooking these elk, although they seem to be pretty chill. I don't know how they haven't spooked yet. I know I am crouch walking, but it's kind of crazy. These coyotes are going to be pretty hard to track down. They are very skittish. I think these guys may be alert. Yeah, that one definitely is. He's looking right at me. No, he's calm. Okay, then. I was trying to get a better angle on this elk, but the other guy is kind of there. Oh, what is that over there? Oh, just a female, but that's probably a drinking hole, yes? Yeah. Now, that's weird that the females are way over there, given the males are all the way over here. Probably going to end up just taking a bit of a quartering away shot on this guy. Right there behind the shoulder, and that should give us more than a good enough shot to have him go down rather quickly. So there he is right there, and he's actually still traveling, so that tells me that the shot we got on him was actually not very good, and I think that has to do with the fact that we were really, really close. And unfortunately, I think we might end up getting a upper shoulder shot, maybe? I don't even know where that blood trail is. Is it over here? Yeah, it looks like it. A Grelic rifle should be more than capable of taking it down. And for whatever reason, I'm not going to be able to... Yeah, it says no organs hit. Well, that's rather unfortunate. So I'm going to have to wait for it to go down and go claim it. It's really surprising, actually. I don't understand how that's a thing. Surprisingly enough, that entire herd of male elks has actually make their way back this way, as well as our number 4 there. So I'm going to try and put another round in him just to end his suffering if he'll stop. I know he's pretty far away, but hopefully this way he's at least far away and not too close like he was before. Then that hopefully will bring him down all the way. Now, all of this shooting is undoubtedly going to be scaring any coyotes in the area, but it's actually really, really early in the day, and I don't know if there's going to be any coyotes out this early. They're normally out much later in the day, but it is very possible that we could stumble across a few. Coyotes are kind of the main focus of this episode, but of course there's always things that happen in between, and, I like to have a good amount of harvest for you guys for each episode. By the way, let me know in the comments if you guys like the way that I styled the episodes, like the pacing, if you guys would like more of a sort of no talking cinematic thing, or more talking, more harvest, more missions. I do plan on doing sort of a very mission focused series at some point. One of the maps that I am planning on doing has a really good story from what I've seen from other people's videos, and that's kind of the story I want to focus on, and I'll probably just do like a back-to-back series of videos on that one. Looks like here we actually ended up getting a vital hit on that second shot, which is good. It definitely tells me that I got way too high of a shot on the first one. And here he is. Of course, there's a blacktail or something very angry with me. Go ahead and take a look at this guy's rack. I love those faded tines. Very pretty. He ended actually being a gold, which is not too bad. Yeah, so the first shot there was just a little too high, and it was just a shoulder shot. And then the last one was actually really good. It took out both the lungs and the liver, which is a very quick kill. Quick 959 cash, not too bad. Curiously enough, I actually just saw that the Grellic rifle does give you rifle score, which I didn't really realize or understand until just now. So I'm also wondering if the Grellic rifle will give you shotgun score if you switch it to shotgun mode. And there is a female blacktail deer that's getting very angry with me, or very promiscuous, depending on what call she just gave me. It was either a warning or a mating call. I'm not entirely sure. But I might just take her for the sake of figuring out whether or not this Grellic rifle gives you both shotgun and rifle. Because if it is, it's definitely something I would recommend for people to use early on to level up both the shotgun and the rifle scores. Because shotguns are pretty much invaluable as a gun if you're planning on doing any kind of bird harvesting. And most everyone, if not everyone, definitely uses a rifle at some point. However, for bows, you're still better off with one of the compounds, I believe. Although the crossbow, if you have the DLC, is also a very capable weapon as well. Why don't we just give a call real quick and see if we can't get anything in. Of course, the wind is blowing in the direction, so I'm going to apply a little bit of scent eliminator as well. And that should help cover up our scent so she doesn't spook. Now, sometimes what I like to do is I like to call out in the open and then sort of back up into some sort of cover or better vantage point. That way, if they do come running, they don't come running right at you. They end up come running right where you were calling. And that helps with a lot of things. It helps them not spook as easily, and it sends them into a better sight line for you. Because for whatever reason, the callers end up having them come literally directly to you, which is pretty insane. I actually had something like that happen to me in real life with a turkey caller. I ended up doing the turkey caller, which I didn't think it was going to work because it's like one of those gimmicky pumping ones. It was really weird. And like 5 seconds afterwards, I just heard this cacophony of turkey gobbling. And then all of a sudden, this just horde of turkeys come running, and I mean literally running out of the woods at me. And I ended up knocking one down. It's a pretty wild experience. Now, she looks like she's on her own, and for the sake of science, we are going to harvest her. Ooh. Hey now, girly. Hey now. You calm down. You're all right. Thank you. Ooh, was that a heart shot? It was definitely 16 gauge, so I was a little worried there that I might have taken her out with something a bit too big. Was that a bear call? Man, there's all kinds of animals around here today. Nope, it was just a single lung, but that big old bullet took her down real quick. 900 cash for a blacktail. That's kind of crazy. I'll take it, though. And let's see, did we get shotgun score for that? We did. Okay, so Grelic Rifle is definitely one of the best guns to use early game if you're trying to leveling up both your rifle and shotgun score. Another one of my reasons for wanting to use the 243, other than it being that 2 to 6 range, is it uses the same scope as the other guns, and because we're so weight limited, and at some point I want to have a moose and elk collar on one of these jack of all trade loadouts, it's going to be really tight with weight. And unless I want to use a backpack, which I can't really justify because I do a lot of close range hunting and I like to have my ability to get close, and if they're going to hear me from a mile away, well, that's not really going to help me very much. The Whitlock, however, is definitely something I would consider. I would consider making this jack of all trades a lever action build, so I would replace, I'd probably keep the Grelic rifle, or I could replace it with the 4570 and just not have this one have shotguns, which is more than fine, and then I'd probably use the Whitlock. And then I'd probably throw on a revolver, which would be kind of cool. Let me know in the comments if you'd be interested in me rocking a build like that for some of our videos. I think I'm going to leave that female bear alone. I'm going to have to cross paths with her to go towards this outpost here, or lookout point. And I might have to switch it to nighttime to get these coyotes out, but we'll see. I'll throw out some calls, see if I get anything back. I have gotten coyote warnings and things in the daytime before. And it's about 7 o'clock right now, so it's still pretty early. Wow, would you look at that? So it looks like we've come back upon that herd of elk that we were seeing earlier. But now they're all together eating and drinking. And there's actually a level 4 over there. We're very close to the outpost now. It's just... where is it? There it is. There's the lookout. And how far away is that level 4? When in Rome, you know? Where'd he go? Oh, he's over there. He is about 200 yards away. You know what? We might be able to make that with the 9.3 and the Grelic. Just aim at his spine. And with any luck, that will actually be a vital hit. And he'll go down faster than last time. And according to the map, he already went down, which is fantastic. Normally, I don't take these far shots, but that was a pretty nice one to take, and it was pretty easy, and I was pretty guaranteed to get it. And, you know, sometimes it's nice to mix it up a little bit. Not everyone likes the close shots, and not everyone likes the far shots. We will do some more bow hunting and stuff at some point, because I definitely want to unlock those 5-pin, or at least the 3-pin sights. I went to the shooting range, like I said before, and I did some shooting with the bow and found out that it's kind of interesting. I know it's definitely affected by the wind a lot, and that single pin defaults at 50 yards, but it's actually kind of hard to get something a little bit further than that. 100 yards, the drop is very severe. So it's really difficult to stay within that 50 yard range without overshooting or undershooting. You know, you get about 50 to, I'd say, I don't know, 70 yards before it really starts to drop down too much where you can't really aim where you want to aim. But once we get those pin sights, we'll be good. I did test out the DLC rangefinder sight that came with one of the DLCs for the bow, and it was being weird. It was not tracking properly. So whenever I tried to have it auto range, it was like 10 yards more than it needed to be, and it was shooting really high. So high that if you tried to just shoot it in like the vital area, it would actually end up shooting it in the spine, which would not be good at all. Well, this is a very interesting experience here. It's not something you get to see very often. Looks like our girl here is just a friend. She's just chilling out. That's really cool. I love being able to get up close like this with them. She doesn't seem to be very friendly right now. Let's go ahead and check on our thing here. Looks like we got vital organ hit, which is very good. Just gonna leave her be, not gonna hurt her. She's just being a good girl. We shouldn't have gone off too far. I'm hoping we got a double lung, but I'm not too confident in that. If you're wondering, I have changed my track colors to white and gray, which makes it a little bit difficult to distinguish between the two colors for sure. But I think it looks a little bit better on camera, and it's not too obtrusive like the colors are. I tried to do green, but unfortunately the greens are very neon, and they stick out like a sore thumb. Let's see what we got on this guy here. Another gold, and he's an orange fur type, which is very pretty, if you ask me. And we did get a double lung. We didn't get the heart. That is crazy. How did we not get the heart? We were so close. Look how close we are to the heart. I mean, we definitely hit a little bit of the heart game. I don't know why you're being some kind of way about it. But good 1,084 cash. Not bad. So, did they have to be a 5 to be a diamond then? Or are we just getting really unlucky with our golds? I don't know. Look at that view. That is absolutely gorgeous. I said this before, but I absolutely love the scale that this game has. Just the maps are so large, and I just love the elevation that is here.
Chila is usually the kickoff point for hikers coming to the reserve, and the same goes for a lot of hunting parties or seasonal sports fishermen. They often rent one of the cabins we have up by Chila Lake and set out from there. Not so much this time of year, though.
That's very interesting. I love those little bits where they talk about the different areas of the map, and it gives you a little bit of history behind it. Unfortunately, you all missed a lot of that because I went and got the outposts, and I will be doing a lot of traveling and outposts and lookout point gathering for streams. I don't know that you guys really care all that much about it for the videos. If you do, let me know in the comments, and I will hold off on doing that, and I'll make sure to go ahead and record it. Speaking of which, if you have made it this far in the video, thank you very much. I know that my videos are very long. Some of you appreciate it. Some of you don't have the patience for it, which is absolutely fine. But thank you nonetheless. And if you have made it this far, why don't you hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and leave me a cheeky comment. Say hi, say you suck. I don't care what you say. Just say something. I love to interact with you guys, and I'm very much looking forward to interacting with all of you on the live streams as well. I'm going to make my way towards this outpost and then probably switch it to a little bit darker so we can get those coyotes to come out. Here we are at the outpost. Finally. Took me quite a while to get here. I was walking, I wasn't running, just in case we spotted anything on the way. There was a couple of female elk and such, but nothing too serious. Again, I hate to harp on it, but just look at that view. If I lived here, I would never go inside. I would just be outside constantly. Although I imagine it gets quite cold here in the wintertime. Let's go ahead and take a little bit of a nap. We did quite a bit of traveling. Set the time to, I don't know, 17? Maybe that'll be dark enough for the coyotes to come out. Or maybe not. It's looking pretty light out. Why don't we change that a little bit more? We got about 10 grand, so it doesn't hurt too much. Try that. It's looking a little better. And why don't we throw out a jackrabbit collar? See if we can't get anybody to talk to us. If not, where should we head from here? There really isn't all that much we can do. We're probably going to be down by the water, if I'm being honest. So I'm probably going to head down that way. Actually, you know what? I'm curious to check out this river. I don't think I've ever been over here. So we're going to head down that way. What direction is that? It's down this hill. Alrighty. The tough part about being in such the early days of the game and being low level and stuff is obviously the skills and the guns and money, but not having any of the need zones. I have no idea where anything spawns. Now, yes, there are guides and maps and things that you can look up, but I tend to not do those things, at least for the first little bit of the gameplay. Once I'm a little bit of established and I'm, got everything I need to go, then I'll start using the guides and getting a little bit of help. Looks like we got a buildable blind or tree stand here, overlooking this big field, which would be a pretty decent spot given whatever may or may not be around this area. I don't know what is. I haven't seen anything so far, but it is pretty late and raining. Okay, so this is interesting. I spooked quite a few animals. I spooked a bear, an elk, and now there was 2 herds of blacktail that were down on this river's edge. And as you can see, we're way over here, which I have never, ever been over here on this map. And that's really cool. I am curious to see if there are any other animals along this river that we could spot. Of course, I don't think there'll be anything spawning across, because I don't even think we can even access that at all. But that'd be weird if something did. Unfortunately, we did not see any coyotes, which was kind of the main focus of today's episode. However, I think that we're going to have to revisit this mission with at least night vision binoculars, if not maybe even night vision scope for a rifle. I hope you guys all enjoyed the episode. Unfortunately, I am all out of time for this one today. If you did enjoy, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. As always, may the Lord bless you and your loved ones as He has blessed me and mine. I love you all so very much. And remember, Jesus loves you. I'll see you guys in the next episode of The Hunter Call of the Wild.